Welcome back, everyone, to our Let's Play of Final Fantasy I for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Last episode, Marty Mouse, Milo, Wimbley, and Fibbs raised the airship from the desert south of Crescent Lake. Now with the airship, they can fly around and visit some towns up north, including this one. What's its name? Well, let's ask this guy. This town is Gaia. There's a lot of good stuff to buy in Gaia, including the final black magic spell that Milo will be able to use, Ice 3. So, there's also some pro rings and gold bracelets that we can buy in the armor shop here. The gold bracelet, good piece of equipment for all our characters. Everyone thinks the tower in Yanakum Desert is a mirage. We'll check that out later. Legend says the Sky Warriors flew about here and there from a castle high in the sky. And the pro rings prevent the rub spell, so we can get them and go back into the ice cave. Do you have great power? Yeah, that woman up there, that witch, basically says, hey, the broom's talking backwards. We already knew that from when the broom's in Matoya's cave. Nothing that Fibbs can use there. He has to be a white wizard to use them. Have you been to the city south of here? I cannot understand a word spoken there. I wonder what language. Well, we'll learn more about that city. We'll actually visit that city and see if maybe we can talk with them. Maybe they speak rat. Legends say that the castle to the west is a place to test courage. That's the Castle of Ordeals. We've been there. Unbelievable, you're outsiders, right? How'd you get this far north? The fairy at the spring was kidnapped. So here's the armor shop. Like I said, the main two things we want to get are the gold rings and the gold bracelets and the pro rings. So we want to get gold bracelets for Wimbley, Milo, and Fibbs. Marty already has a gold bracelet from the Castle of Ordeals. And then we'll spend the rest of our money that we can on pro rings. We'll get 3 of them. Looking back, I probably should have bought the pro rings first and not bought that Ice 3 spell. I don't even think Milo has the spell charges to use for that yet, but yeah, the pro ring is really good, but we'll get one eventually later. So let's rearrange our equipment here a little bit, give the folks what they need. So we're gonna have to sell those silver bracelets. So. And the gloves, the pro ring takes the place of the gloves. It's a hand piece of armor, so Milo can take that. Equip him with that armor. Get the pro ring there. Like I said, that'll protect against that that rub spell. And those mages, they're basically a copy, not a copy. A palette swap of Astos. So, like Astos, they can use the rub spell. So, too bad we didn't have that, those pro rings when we fought Astos. We wouldn't have had a reset, but we didn't have to. I think it took 2 turns for me to defeat Astos. I saved right outside his little things, outside his right outside his castle there. Alrighty. Sell some stuff here. Ooh, can't afford the gold bracelet. Oh well. Alright. We'll get some more money as we roam around and, whatchamacallit, as we roam around and explore around to the north here. So. We need a gold bracelet and a pro ring, so. And the cat claw is a really good type of knife weapon for black wizards. Doesn't have a lot of attack power, but it has pretty high hit percentage. I saw a shining object flying towards the east. Okay. Let's go through this little section here. We'll learn more about that shining object. Only a fairy can draw oxale from the spring, but too bad the fairy's been kidnapped. So here's some level 8 spells. None of our characters can use level 8 spells because they haven't class changed, and we won't be class changing with these characters. So yeah, we'll never be able to use any of these level 8 spells. We have 3 of them available in this town, and then Leafin, the town no one can understand their language. That has the final level 8 white magic and black magic spells, the ultimate ones. Let me see. Yes, there was a professor that studied Leafinish. Well, the only professor we know was Dr. Oon back in Melmond. We'll have to talk with him. Let's talk with this pirate. He looks like Bicky, but he's wearing pink. Hardy har! You are too late. I bottled the fairy and sold her to a caravan. Uh-oh. And we just got another ordinary well there. So it sounds like we're gonna have to find the caravan, buy a ferry, and then release the ferry back here to its spring. Why we have to do that, we don't know. Apparently the ferry can draw oxyale. What oxyale does, we'll find out eventually, but we're heroes. We want to go around and do good things, and finding out that somebody was kidnapped, yeah, that's not very good, so yeah. We want to save whoever it was. So Milo's pretty much full of his spells. I'll buy a slow spell for Marty and Milo later on, just to fill out space. But alright, got a new enemy here, Anklo. They have really high defense, so you might want to use spells against these guys until you gain a few more levels. Can get some better attack power. So still using the Zeus's Gauntlet. So, eventually we'll end up getting rid of that Zeus's Gauntlet. There's a hammer, the Thor's Hammer. We won't be able to get that until much, much later in the game. But that casts Let 2, just like the Zeus's Gauntlet. And armor space is at a much more higher premium than weapon spaces. Because there's most of the armor slots that we have are being used for important gear. Where weapons, you know, you basically only have the weapon that your character is equipping and using. The other 3 spaces are pretty much empty, so when we're able to find weapons that can cast spells, it's better to keep them than the armor, because they free up the armor slots for something more important, so. Now, pretty soon, a little bit to the south of this area where we're at right now, we're going to get to the monster zone that is included in the Peninsula of Power. So, yeah, I said a long time ago when we first went to the Peninsula of Power that the monsters in this area are monsters that we'll encounter much, much later in the game. Well, yeah, now we're encountering them, so. But we're better equipped to deal with them right now, so. And dealing with them will get us some good money. Maybe we can buy that last gold bracelet and the pro ring. So, one of the annoying things, though, about a lot of these towns up north is the heal potions are not on the top slot. So, yeah, it's better to go down to a town in the south to buy heal potions. It's just quicker. You just keep pressing AAA, and you know, because the thing is the first one on the first option. You can just scroll right through, not even have to pay attention. So here's Leafin, the town. We were told, you know, that hey, the people here can't. They speak a weird language that nobody else can understand. So, Lupa. And oh, we're still dirty. Yeah, everybody's here is just basically gonna say Lupa, so we're gonna have to come back. Well, I made a mistake. There are 2 people who don't say Lupa, and they are the level the clerks at the level 8 white and black magic shops that are kind of hidden in this town. So you see all those buildings up there that I guess the villagers live in when they're not walking around here. Yeah, there's no doors there or anything like that. To find the magic shops, we're gonna have to go through. There's a little hole in the wall to the right. Yep, still saying Lupa. And if we walk around the grass beyond that hole, see up there, little hole there in the wall, surrounded by trees. we'll get to that magic shop. But once again, like I said, none of our characters will be able to use a level 8 magic because I'm not going to class change. And the reason for not class changing is, one, I like the sprites that these characters of these 4 classes better than their advanced sprites. Speaking of advanced sprites, you know, Fibbs being the hooded rat, when he class changes into a white wizard, he loses that hood, and his on-screen sprite kind of looks like the Leafinish people there. So yeah, here's the 2 people who who don't speak Leafinish. So Life 2 and Nuke. Life 2 restores a character to life if they're KO'd in battle, knocked out in battle, and restores them at full hit point, where the regular life spell only does 1 hit point. Nuke is a non-elemental spell that does massive damage. It has a high damage rating, so... But, yeah, best black magic spell, but like I said, we'll never use any of those spells, so... Fibbs can still learn a few level 7 spells, despite just maintaining that white mage class. I'm just gonna float around here, try to get into... There we go! I was talking about trying to get in an encounter with that gator monster. That's the last monster, river monster, of the southern hemisphere, I guess you could say, in this world. Although if you kind of did the map of this, the map of Final Fantasy of all these worlds would basically be a donut. Because if it was a pure sphere, when you went north, you would hit like a universal like North Pole, but you just hit the normal south. So it basically would be like, picture a big sphere, drew a big hole in it, and you'd get like a donut. So, but well, nothing we can do there. But we were told there's a tower down here that they say is a mirage. It doesn't look like a mirage at all. Let's go into that tower. There's a lot of good equipment in this tower, including that Thor's hammer that I mentioned earlier. So you might think, oh, you're going into into this tower to pick up the Thor's hammer right now? Unfortunately, no. We are locked out of this tower right now. In order to get into the tower, you have to be able to speak Leafinish. We need an item from Leaf in there to enter into the tower. So that's one of the reasons why you have to learn the Leafin language. It's not like a, you know, just a side quest that, you know, you can just don't have to do. You have to do it to complete the game. So we'll later learn that the tower here, which is called the Mirage Tower, is actually the gateway to the castle in the sky. We kind of got a hint of the castle in the sky back in Gaia. That guy said, hey, you know, like, a while ago, like, ancient people kind of flew from a castle in the sky. So yeah, you can't even enter this Mirage Tower. I guess it kind of looks like a mirage in a sense, because the color of the tower is the same as the sand color behind it. So, a lot of tough enemies in that desert there, including a T-Rex. But it's a very, very, very rare encounter, so I'm not going to try to encounter it now. It's a 1 in 64 chance to encounter that monster. So in order to encounter that monster, you have to take a, you know, unless you got really, really lucky, and, you know, the random number generators just so happen to be on that encounter to roll that encounter, we'd have to do a lot of fighting in the desert, and right now, we're not really strong enough to take on those monsters. We can take on maybe, like, you know, maybe 3 or 4 battles, but after that, it was just, things were just too hard for us, so... Well, looks like all we need to get now is 1 more Pro Ring. Pro Rings are pretty common, and we'll find them as treasure in a few later dungeons, but, it's better to just buy them right now, because right now we don't have a lot to really spend money on. Fibbs is going to have to get a few more magic spells, but, you know, in terms of weaponry, don't really need to buy any more weapons. The weapons that our characters will use at the end of the game are all going to be found as treasure in dungeons, including most armor too. So basically, money is going to be spent on heal potions. And have you met Bahamut, the Dragon King? He rewards those who are courageous. No, they won't be spending money on Bahamut. In fact, we'll be taking Bahamut's money, or at least the money of the dragons here who live under Bahamut. Bahamut is a future staple in Final Fantasy games, but he's usually a summon. Beginning in Final Fantasy III, he becomes like the most powerful summon. So, in 3, he's a summon. You have to defeat him. He's like an optional boss. Final Fantasy IV, also another optional boss. You've seen me play through Final Fantasy V, 4-Job Fiesta, and you fight Bahamut on the Northern Mountain. And in Final Fantasy VI, he is an Esper. And Espers are basically kind of like the summons in that game. They teach you magic. You are not afraid of me? Then I am impressed. That you get from defeating an optional boss. So you don't actually fight Bahamut in Final Fantasy VI. You fight an optional boss, Doomgaze. He's like a dragon. Well, Bahamut's a dragon, so I guess it's fitting. But you fight this optional boss, Doomgaze. You have to fly around. He's kind of annoying because you have to... he's a random encounter, but he's a random encounter that you encounter in your airship. So you gotta just fly around the whole world map and just hope that you run into him. So you just have to hope that your sprite just happens to bump into the sprite that his model is on. We are going to the Castle of Ordeals to the northeast. There we will test and bring back proof of our courage. We already went there. It's not that bad. There's a few bad enemies. Make sure you have a fire. Once in the north, there were big, beautiful palaces and big mechanical castles. I threw big in there, just as I was reading. Yeah, sometimes you throw in words when you're reading. So, not a lot of gold there. The proof of your courage might be anything. Well, we will learn that the proof of the courage is whatever we did not pick up in that one box on the 3rd floor. We intentionally left it. And the reason I left that box is because I just want to, if I would have got that box, I would have went to talk with Bahamut, we wouldn't have seen his dialogue. So I'm going to show off his dialogue before, you obtain proof of the courage. Only the courageous ones bring back the proof of their courage. Get some treasure. So, but we have to go back to the Castle of Ordeals anyway. There's a few enemies that we kind of skipped, that we didn't encounter on our trip there. But that's okay, because I knew I'd be going back there to get the proof of courage, and also there's some enemies around the Castle of Ordeals in the overworld, and because we're doing 100% bestiary, when we make that second trip back there, we'll be getting those enemies. So this is the island where Bahamut is. There's 2 little sections here. Bahamut's in the lower right one. If you are brave enough, try me, the King of Dragons, Bahamut. Unprofitable business is not a practice of the dragons of Cardia. So now we know what the islands are called. The Cardia Islands. And long ago, dragons and humans lived and traded together. I guess that was all disrupted when the Fiend of Air and Water teamed up 200 years ago to destroy civilization, according to the sages, the Circle of Sages at Crescent Lake. So this is Bahamut's area. It's called the Place of Long, Narrow Hallways. I know I spoke about that streamer, Gyre. He always says Bahamut and his unnecessarily long hallways. So not only do you have to go really, really down further in this hallway, but we're also going to have to walk up a lot of tiles in this long hallway just to meet Bahamut. You better have something important to say. Hey, Hey, there's some dragons. This is Bahamut's room. Bahamut verifies the true courage of all. He's like a little wiser dragon. I am Bahamut, king of the dragons. Bring me proof of your courage to receive the honor due true warriors. As I've hinted at, that honor is the class change. Red mages turn to red wizards. They can use more equipment, can use some more spells. The same thing happens with white mages and black mages. They upgrade to white and black wizards respectively, can use some more equipment, armor and weapons. The biggest, fighters change to knights, can use some low-level white magic up to level 3. Black belts become masters. Not much of a change there. Actually, it's better not to change your master. There's a bug. Master get the black belt, the starting class, gets better magic evasion as a black belt. So he doesn't want to change class change at all, because he doesn't get any benefits. He actually gets a hindrance for class changing into a master. But the greatest change is the thief. He becomes a ninja and can start using some black magic spells and gets a lot better armor and weapon selections. So, but here we are. We're to the east of the Castle of Ordeals. That's what we'll pick up next episode. Bye.